Welcome to Mythic Codex Legends Unveiled, the place where mythology, folklore, and legend come alive. I'm your host Eliza, and tonight we'll uncover the stories that have captivated humanity for thousands of years. Turn the page, our journey begins now. Picture yourself walking through the Scottish Highlands. The fog is thick, the air is cold, and the only sound you hear is your own footsteps. Then, suddenly, another footstep echoes behind you. You stop. Everything goes silent. Slowly you turn around, and standing in the mist is something that shouldn't exist. A towering creature with one glowing eye fixed on you. One massive arm hanging at its side. One powerful leg supporting its body. The other half of it completely missing. Tonight we're diving into the legend of the Fachen, one of the strangest and most terrifying monsters in Scottish folklore. The legend of the Fachen comes from Scotland, especially stories that were passed down through the Highlands and the Isles of Mull. Long before these tales were ever written down, people share them around fires, and from one generation to the next. Unlike some legends that describe ghosts or spirits, the Faken was said to be a real creature that roams the wilderness. People believe it lived far from the village, where lonely roads and mountains made it easy for something terrifying to stay hidden. What made the Faken so terrifying wasn't just its appearance, it was what it did. According to the stories, the Faken hunted anyone who wandered too far into its territory. It didn't speak, it didn't warn people away. Once it noticed someone, the hunt had already began. Its single eye was set to lock onto its victim, never looking away, no matter how fast someone ran. People believed the creature could somehow keep up with them, covering rough ground with frightening speed despite having only one leg. Its lone arm was described as unbelievably powerful. Legend claimed it could grab a person with ease, throwing or crushing them before they ever had a chance to fight back. Man, what would you do if, you see this creature? Would you run away or would you just stare and keep looking? Like, it's a very unusual looking thing, but it's also a horrifying creature. Some stories became even darker. Travelers who disappeared were sometimes said to have been found torn apart, their bodies left scattered across the high hillside. Livestock were rumored to be vanished overnight, leaving behind only blood-stained ground and strange tracks leading into the wilderness. Whether these stories were true or grew more frightening each time they were told, no one really knows what happened, but certainly made people think twice before traveling alone after dark. One of the most best-known tales says that the legendary Scottish hero Fionn mac Cumhaill eventually crossed paths with the Faken. The creature challenged him in a brutal fight, It was said to be incredibly strong and nearly impossible to defeat. But after a fierce battle, Phaon finally overcame the monster and ended its reign of terror. Still, legends have a way of surviving, even after the monster is gone. What I think is interesting is that this Valen guy supposedly said he destroyed this creature. What if he didn't destroy this creature? What if he said he did, and instead he just killed a mountain lion? What if this Fachen creature is still around, still roaming the hillsides, the mountainsides, hoping for someone to just roam into his territory and take them? Still, legends have a way of surviving, even after the monster is gone. Some people think the Fakin was created to explain the dangers of the lonely Scottish wilderness. Others believe it was simply a story used to keep children and travelers from wandering too far from home. But, like so many legends, there's always that question: what if the story started because someone really saw something they couldn't explain? The Fatkin had remained one of Scotland's most disturbing legends for centuries. It may not be as famous as some other mythical creatures, but its still terrifying appearance and gruesome reputation have kept the story alive for generations. So, the next time you image yourself walking alone through a fog-covered valley and you hear a heavy footstep behind you, don't be too quick to turn around. Because if the old legend is true, the Fakin may still be waiting in the mist. Here ends today's episode. This is your host Eliza, and you are listening to Mythic Codex Legends Unveiled. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I hope you join me in my next episode. Thank you for listening.